Welcome back to Making It with Minglet. Well, let me start out by telling you a funny story. So, the last time I was in my craft room, I had extra paint left over, and I decided to do what some people do, and I watered it down, and I dripped it on this page that was kind of blank. And I hung it up to dry on my clothesline that's to the left of where I sit. And it's over my computer and all of that. I come in and I think, okay, I need to do my next day. And I'm sitting here looking around, and my desk was fairly clear. And I thought, how did I lose my journal I'm working in? How in the world could this have happened? And I'm sitting here starting to think I've lost my mind, which sometimes we do question these things. But anyway, since it was dripped and it wasn't quite dry, I didn't want to leave it flat on the desk and have it soak into the other page, so I had hung it up and I forgot. Yes, we might have some short-term memory issues. So, we've done page 21, and our next page is going to be 22. And I did have that, I thought I had the numbers out, but apparently I haven't put that one on yet. So, we're going to have to find a 22. But when you're looking at this, it is something that was made by Darcy, and I want to go ahead and put that on there. Darcy Sanders loves to doodle, and she was doodling all kinds of things, and she doodled this for me, and she got it colored and everything, and then at some point she had sent this little piece right here in some Happy Mail, and it was between folded papers, and I did not know it until not too many weeks ago. So I've got it here, and I'm going to show you what the finished one looks like. And I'm going to put on here it's a Darcy doodle. And I loved it so much that I took it to use in a very special place. If you look at my phone, she added a few things, but this is what she sent me digitally. And I love her, and she's on my phone all the time, so I always think about Darcy, especially now. She's going through some difficult times, so I do think about her, and it makes me grateful to have such fun, artistic people that are in my life. I don't know that, I've never met her in person, and one day when I'm heading north, I hope that I'll get to meet her for real. But until then, I've always got her in my heart. I've got her on my mind, and that's one of the things I want to think about. And one of the things that we have in common is invisible illnesses. People with invisible illnesses have to just take it day by day. You can't always predict, what kind of day you're going to have, or what your physical strength is going to be for that day. It could be, just your whole body hurting. It could be your hands hurting. So you have to seize each day as it comes. You can't just lay on the couch or lay in the bed and feel sorry for yourself. If you do that, you will just prolong the pain. I know that sounds crazy, but if you're a person that lives with pain, you know what I'm saying. So when I thought about this, I thought this was very fitting. I had cut this out of a inspirational book today is the day. And I want to just go ahead and I'm going to fill in some colors here and just kind of finish out the page. It's not going to be anything really fancy, not necessarily, but I do want to add like a little bit of color. I've got this tissue paper, and I've got this one, and either one of these would be complementary, so I can put them down on here and it will kind of disappear on here. I'm going to just use my matte medium, the Liquitex, and I know it's not terribly expensive, but just know when you buy this 16-ounce bottle, I've been using this for more than a year, and I use it all the time. So just know that when you do get that it goes a long way. So, don't let the price of it blow your mind or discourage you. Now, I feel like I want to look at this beside this page. I feel like this transition right here is nice. I don't think I want to do anything that's going to take away from that. And this flower right here looks like it might be, I don't want it to be boring, but I don't want it to be too much either. So let's just cut some of these apart. And I can leave the pink on them if I want to, but the pink is still going to be pink. So we'll see what we can do. I'm going to try to get as close as I can. I don't think those are the best scissors for what I'm doing. Let's try these. Let's see if these work better. And today's cleaning day, so I've already done my part. You will hear the vacuum cleaner going here shortly, because I just heard my husband come upstairs. You probably know by now, when we clean, we do it together. It's a 50-50 deal. I do the dusting, and I clean the bathrooms and wipe down the counters in the kitchen, do all the cleaning in the kitchen, and then he comes in and he does the floors, he vacuums and mops. And that's an every week thing, so I get my part done and then he does his part, and it's a whole lot of less burden than it used to be. When we both were working, I tried to do it on the weekends, and I tell you, it was ridiculous. Now we just work together. We get out in the yard and try to work together on that. I do what I can. And if it's something that we can wait on, and if I'm not up to it, we'll wait. But it just takes me longer to do things than it does him. But he's learning patience in the process. And that's what you have to do. That's kind of how it works. You just have to learn patience when you are diagnosed with crazy stuff. Look, that blends extremely well. So I'm going to put that one there. And I'm going to go ahead and lay it down, and it can be drying while I'm thinking about what else I'll do. I know I want to cover up this seam right here. So we'll figure it out. We'll work on it together. And you see, I don't have but just a drop on here. That's all it's going to take. Just a little drop. If you look in the description, you will be able to find a link to Darcy's channel. And she also creates stencils and stamps, and they're available at PM Artist Studios. So I will have all that linked so that you can find and enjoy some of her beautiful work. All right, that's one piece, and I'm not gonna rinse my brush because I'm gonna try to get a few more things on. Let's see. This orange is definitely in my colors, and this is really pretty too. This little pinkish one here, and it's leafy. Y'all probably know by now I'm not crazy about fussy cutting things. I will when I need to, but I don't always fussy cut stuff because things get fiddly for my hands, but my hands are fair today. They're not perfect, but where I've been cleaning and had my hands in warm water, they're a little bit happier than they were when I first got up. So, yeah, cleaning won't kill you. Sometimes it's good for you. I know that when I get up and try to keep from being in bed when I don't really feel like it, it actually perks me up. It helps my mental health a lot because at least I feel like I can do something to be contributing, even if it's something I do for fun. And crafting is one of my things. I mean, that is something that if I'm not coming in the craft room, or if I don't feel like coming to the craft room, it's not a good day. I'm not having a good day. And if the other way that they know I'm not having a good day is if I don't want to cook. If I say, "Oh, let's just go pick something up," or I'm not feeling that today. They know that I'm not having a very good day because I don't usually tell them. I don't usually make a big deal out of it because I learned when I worked, people just didn't. It wasn't that they didn't care. I just feel like they got tired of watching me struggle. And I had a manager one day. She looked at me. She said, "I don't know why you do it. Why do you keep doing it?" And then a doctor said, "I don't know how you do it." And I just told him, I said, "Look, I don't have any alternatives right now. I mean, I need to work. I need to be able to contribute to the family, and that's just the way it is. So I do what I can do." And I started thinking about it, and I thought, well, am I doing what's best? Am I doing what's best for me, or am I being selfish by even thinking about not working? And it got to the point where I went into work one day, and I felt horrible. I mean, I really felt horrible. It was one of those, I don't know if I'm gonna make it kind of days. I just don't think I can. And I was at work for a couple of hours, and I finally just thought, you know what, this ain't working for me. It's not working. I need to go home. I need to take care of me for once in my life. I need to be a priority. And I talked to my husband when I got home, and he said, "We'll work it out." He said, "We'll work it out." And I just said, "Okay, I know this is going to be hard, and there may be stuff we have to give up, and I'm willing to do what needs to be done. Whatever that means for us. If I stay home, I'll have to learn to do things at home that will help us, ways to save money, um, being thrifty, frugal, whatever it took." And we never went hungry. We never had bills that went unpaid. And things that happened during that time, I look back and I think, okay, this was all just lining up in a way that, we're able to look after our family that was needing it. I was taking better care of myself, and I was able to take care of others, when they were getting towards the end of their lives. I was able to make a difference. And I guess God's timing, it's always on time. It's never too late. It's not too early. It just comes at the right time, and you don't always know what's happening until you look back and you say, interesting. He knew where I needed to be, and he put me on the right path at the right time. So that happened. All that happened. I lost my father-in-law. We lost my mother. And when COVID came, within a couple of weeks, we lost my mother-in-law. And during that time, I was available for everybody, to oversee their care or just be there, to sit with them, to hold their hands. And if I'd still been working, I wouldn't have had that time. But I didn't know. I didn't know what was working behind the scenes. But it was a God thing. It had to be. So every day I get up, I just say I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I have another day. And I'm going to try to do the best I can, whatever that day brings. And I encourage you to do the same. So we're just going to look at it like today is the day. Take it for what it is, and be grateful for what you have. I like that. I think that's going to work out all right. And create things. Create beautiful things. I love getting in here and playing in my craft room. I may not be the most creative person in the world, but I do it for the sheer joy of doing it. And I do videos so that I can encourage other people to find something that you enjoy and that brings you joy. Don't let, the things that happen to you, don't let them cause you to just wither and die. Go out fighting. I mean, I feel like I can say that, no matter what happens at this point in my life, no matter what happens, it's all going to be okay. And I can do what I can do each day and take it from there and be grateful. And if I feel like creating, create. If I don't, I can watch other people create and live through their joys of creating. There's nothing wrong with that. You hear the vacuum going. That's his vacuum. He's very protective of it. If I get it and bring it upstairs for something, he'll say, "Where's my vacuum?" Because I have my own vacuum. I have like a little, well, it's funny. It's just a little cordless vacuum, and it's something I can vacuum the steps coming up to the craft room with, or touch up the kitchen if it needs a little something, instead of sweeping up dust and stuff like that. I use this little vacuum, and it's called a jelly pig. And he got it off of Amazon because my other one died. And every time I say, "Where's my jelly pig?" he starts giggling, and we both kind of laugh about it. But it's my vacuum cleaner, and it's very good. It's got really good suction. it doesn't take it, but it takes about an hour for it to charge, and it'll last about 2 weeks or better without being put back on the charger. So that's pretty good. Okay. Now this one, I think I'm going to have it curl around, kind of like this. It's going to cover up that writing up there, but then, or do I want to, wait, I'm going to put this down now. Yeah, I'm going to put this one down now. We're going to use, I'm not going to put it down with the matte medium because it's a little bit of a cardboardy like. So I'm going to use my art glitter glue for that. Make sure that I get it down good. And I need to tuck that in a little bit. Okay. Today's the day. We're going to live in the moment. And we're going to be living our best life. I like how it's coming together so far. And I think this paper came to me in Happy Mail from Tracy. Le bouf. I'm going to notch that out just a little bit more. Let's see if that's going to do it. Yes. I think that's just exactly what I want to do. He not only vacuums the floor, he vacuums the sofas and gets them all nice and fluffed up. And he fluffs the pillows up and vacuums them. And I probably told you why he does it. In 2012, I was diagnosed with a brain aneurysm, and the doctor, after my surgery, said I couldn't vacuum, period, that I wasn't to vacuum anymore, and he winked at me. So I've never vacuumed since, except with my little tiny vacuum. I don't vacuum anymore. He's done it ever since, and he does it with he don't mind. He don't mind it at all. So got pretty lucky on that. I owe that doctor big time. He did it a lot of good. All right, so there we have it. I think that turned out pretty good. I do need to find where my number, here it is, my number 24. Need to get that on there. Let's snip this. No, it's not 24. I need 22. Where's 22? I bet it's stuck on something. Alright, so I'm going to skip past that part. I'll hold this up to where you can see it really good. And this is going to be day 22. And this is Darcy's Doodle. So look for her channel and follow along with her. She does some pretty cool adventures from time to time. So she puts stuff up several times a week. It's not always every day, but she does keep us entertained, and she's always doing something fun. So until next time, I want you to be well, my friends. And if you got a minute, hit that thumbs up for me and leave me a message to let me know if you like what I'm doing with these 100 days, or if you'd like to see something different, let me know, because I've not been getting very many likes. So I'm just curious if they're too long, or exactly what I need to do to make them better. And I won't know if you don't tell me. So until next time, be well, my friends. Bye-bye.